Hi everybody, welcome back. My name is Lynn and I'm Pretty Paper Craft 67. Today I'm going to start a little craft with me series, and I would like to make this ephemera folio holder with a junk journal insert. So it's an easy construction, but they look really nice when they're finished. And the beauty of this project is when we're finished, we're going to have a folio that will have a pocket, and a pocket. So it'll be 3 pockets on each side, so 6 pockets. And I'm toying with the idea of attaching these envelope flips to the covers, so there will be extra storage there on both sides. And then I'm going to put in just a say 20-page semi-naked junk journal insert, sew that into the center. So it'll be yeah, a quite handy little project to have, to store ephemera, to have your notebook, your junk journal sitting in the middle of it all. Yeah, and it's just a fun project, and it doesn't take a lot of supplies to be able to create it. So basically, I'm going to get into it. My little tip for the day is when I'm doing projects like this, I always just do a little template that I never use. It's always there. That way I can't forget my measurements and my instructions. And, you know, I've got countless notebooks with scribblings through them and to find the right notebook. So this way I find that it's there all the time. So that's my instructions. And basically this project takes a manila folder, and I'd say 2 manila folders, one for the construction of the book and another one for your pockets and things like that. So the first thing we want to do is we want to cut the manila folder down to 12 inches in length. If you're working in centimetres, 12 inches is 30.5 centimetres. So you want to cut that one down to, I'm working in inches. I learnt centimetres at school, but I just understand inches so much better. Okay, so I'm just going to cut the length of this down to 12 inches. My scoreboard is not, I'm sorry, my cutter is not always exact. So there we go. So it's just one little piece left over like that. Okay, so that's the cutting of the folder. And then grab your scoreboard if you've got one. If not, you can, you know, if you don't have a scoreboard, you can just measure, line your ruler up, and then, you know, with your ball tool, or you just go that way. But I've got a scoreboard, so I'm going to do it this way. So now we've got 12 inches in length. Now we want to score it at right in the middle at 6 inches, and just follow it all the way down there. And if you're working in centimetres, 6 inches is 15.3 centimetres. So basically half of your manila folder. So I give that a good score, but I don't press too hard so that we don't break through the folder. So then on either side of that 6 inch or middle score mark, we want to score 1/8 of an inch on either side. Now again, if you're working in centimetres, that's 3 millimetres. So 1/8 of an inch just all the way down, like so, and again the same on the other side. So it's 12 inches or 30.5 centimetres you want to cut your folder down to. Then you want to score directly in the middle at 6 inches or 15.3 centimetres, and then either side of that 6 inch score mark we want to go 1/8 of an inch or 3 millimetres. And that's basically the construction of the book, of the folio. So then I have scored it with my closed end of the folder there, just so that I can get a nice, I can butt it up against the scoreboard nice and firmly. But you turn it so that your opening part faces to the top. Now this, the 3 score marks just kind of give you a bit of a gusset. So you just fold it and sort of line up as best you can all your sides, and then just give it a bit of a firm press. It doesn't have to be scored really tightly, because it's creating like a bit of a gusset there, which is what we want for our junk journal insert to be able to be sewn into. Right, so that is the construction of the first manila folder. Basically just your flaps like that. We've scored it straight down the middle at 6 inches and 1/8 of an inch on either side. Alright, so I'll pop that one away because I've actually got a second one here that I showed you. Okay, so I've done all that, I've scored it, I've cut it to length. Now we're going to cut our pockets. Alright, so it's probably hard to see white on white like that, so I'll just pop this here. So I've cut 2 pockets, and the idea is this would be papered, for instance, so one pocket will sit there and one pocket will sit above it just like that, and then you've got your other pocket in here, in there. So a pocket there, a pocket there, and a pocket in there. Alright, so the pockets themselves, and this is where your second manila folder will come into play. I've already done the 2 for this side, so just to save us time on camera. But yeah, I've got what's left over from a manila folder. Now the pockets themselves, what I'm going to do with these pockets is I'm going to create like well, it's not really a gusset, but it won't sit so flat to the folder face if you create these little channels at the back. It sort of gives the pocket extra bit of room in there. So the measurements are bigger, but once we've folded down, once we've scored down these areas, then it should, fingers crossed, fit nicely within this area. So I'll just pop that aside, grab back my cutter. And the first pocket I want to cut across here at 6 7/8 of an inch, or 17.5 centimeters, so it's that wide. And pardon me, and the width, the width of the pocket, and the length of the pocket we're going to cut at 5.5 inches or 14 centimeters. So we'll just measure this up this way. So that's 6 7/8 of an inch, which is about there. Actually, let me bring that to me. About there. Cut through there. And then we want to cut it down to 4.5 inches in height. So 4.5. And there like that. And then on this one, I'll muck that up. This one should have been 5.5, but we can cut the 5.5 out of this one. Pardon me. Very tickly throat when I talk on camera. So again, we want to cut it to 6 7/8 of an inch this way, and then this one we will cut down to 5.5. We'll go this way, 5.5 inches. Okay, so I'll just run through those measurements with you again. So for each side of the folio, we're cutting pockets that measure across 6 7/8 of an inch, or 17.5 centimeters, and then in depth, one pocket we're going to cut at 4.5 inches, and the other one we're going to cut at 5.5 inches. Then what I want to do, I'll get my scoreboard out again, and around 3 sides of these pieces of cardboard, I am going to score 1/2 inch. I'm just going to work out where 1/2 inch is. So it would be about, so score down 1/2 inch on each side. and the same on the bottom. So then the body of the pocket then becomes 5 7/8 and 4, and that should fit really nicely inside the folder. So then you just give that a bit of a fold and a burnish, like so. Like that. We'll do the same for this one. We're gonna take it, score a 1/2 inch on all 3 sides, but leaving the top untouched. Like so. I'll give that a good burnish. All right. Put the scoreboard away. All right. So just a little. Just a little trick. Everyone knows it. You want to cut out these where the two score marks come down and intersect. You want to cut away those squares, and I just cut them a little bit of an angle. It just makes it easier and neater to fold your corners in when you do that. So that's that one. And same here. Like so. And then we'll grab out the folio, and I haven't done it to these ones either, so I'm just going to cut those little squares away here as well. Like that. That and that. Alright, so now pop that away. So now you've got 3 pockets for each side of your folio. 1, 2, 1, 2. Like so. And when they're all glued down, they'll sit nice and flush to the page. Like that. I'll just pin those so that we can, so that's a bit neater. Like so. And then these two will be like about so. Okay, so they sit nicely there, and then you've still got your nice 1/4 inch gusset through the spine for the insert in the junk journal, for the junk journal to sit in rather. Now I'm deciding whether I add these flips or not, because I probably want to add them now before I before I paper anything or glue anything on. So I think I will go ahead, and I would want to, first of all, on this one here, I would want to cut just a slither off that side of the envelope to create an opening, and we will, when we're papering up, we'll cover all that up. And then just with my glue stick, I'm just going to glue that flap of the envelope, and I'm going to center it around about, or you could, wherever you want really. It could go one up and one down kind of thing. Actually, I might try that. And just on this side, you just on this side of that crease line, so it flips over nicely. And then the flap of this one, I'm going to put inside the two folder pieces. and just about like so. So, and this side again, I'm just going to use my glue stick, because I will sew all around this, so if it's not really attached, I will sew all around it, and then that will be fine. And just sew like that, and we'll give that a bit of a burnish. And then that we'll have our 2 envelopes here. Sorry, our 2 pockets there. And then that will flip over the top like so. And we're coming up close to the end of the video. Alright, so that's that side, and then we'll do the same with these pockets here. These envelopes, which we're going to turn into pockets. Okay, so we are going to be attaching that into there. Probably, so that's great, but I can't do that on that side, can I? Alright, so I want to attach this one, and we've got to cut our slot from the top. Let's cut that down like that, and I'm just going to, I'm a bit confused now, attach that to there. That one flips over. I'll flip this one here, and once again I'm going to stick that down into the folder like so, and look at that, there's a window. I want to use that window. I'm just going to fold that back a little bit like so, because I'm going to use that to put a journal card inside there. So again, I'm just going to put that little glue on there like that, lift it up, and then slip it in there again, just leaving a little bit of room just before the crease line of the envelope so that it'll flip back up. Alright, so we've got a storage in there, that is a flip there. We'll have our 2 pocket or 3 pockets here, one up the top, one there and one there on that side, and the same on there, and then we will build our journal to go straight down the middle there. Alright, so that is about time for me on this video. I'll just clip that one there like so. So next we'll come back, I'll come back with the part 2, and we will paper everything up and then stick it down, and then we'll see where we are at with that. Alright, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this is not too confusing. Yeah, it's just a fun little project to create something that's cute, original. I first saw the idea on done by Dorothy on YouTube. She's got some wonderful ideas. But yeah, I'm just adding these little flip outs just for something different, just to see how it turns out. So, and I think the paper line that I'm going to use to to decorate with is this one by AntiquePaperie. It's called Tristans Lady. Yeah, it's a lot of floral, really very pretty, a lot of text. Yeah, quite gorgeous actually. Unfortunately, when I was printing out the last 2 pages, I've just run out of ink, which is so typical. But I think we can still use them. I think they're really lovely. Alright, so thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope that that was clear. I'll run back through measurements and things in the next video as well. And I'll also link at the end. I did do a flip through of this exact journal without the envelope flips. A little while ago. It was for a design team project, so I'll link that one at the end in case you want to have a look through the folio before you commit to making it. Alright, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope everyone is well and finding time for crafting. And I will see you all again in the next video. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.